Evolution is WWE's first ever all-women's premium live event. The first one was held in 2018, and after 6 long years, we are finally getting the second ever installment. If you had to predict matches to put on Evolution 2, what would they be? Hi guys, my name is Adriana Anais, and like I said in the intro, this video is going to be my predictions for Evolution 2. As I'm filming this, it's June 14th, so we're a little bit less than a month out. If you guys like videos like this, please make sure to comment them down below, like this video, and let me know what other videos you want to see from me. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and follow me on all my social medias. The link will be in the description box below, as well as follow my She Speaks Wrestling podcast, where I talk about all things happening in WWE and in wrestling in general with me. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get right on into it. So yeah, like I said, we're a little bit less than a month out. There hasn't been much build to Evolution so far. However, we were told on NXT by Ava, the general manager, that the winner of, I believe they're having some sort of tournament, will face Jacy Jayne, the NXT Women's Champion, at Evolution. And we have been getting some teases here and there of what could possibly go down. So I am very excited for Evolution. Some of these matches may or may not happen, obviously, because like I said, we haven't gotten much build, but this is just my speculation. And if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments and let me know what matches you would put there. First up, we kind of got slightly teased this on Monday, this past Monday on Monday Night Raw. We had Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella kind of face off, where Liv Morgan hit Nikki Bella with an Oblivion at the end of that segment. And Nikki Bella did go into the ring talking about Evolution and how she was the main event, or she wrestled in the main event at Evolution. So I obviously know that she's going to probably be on this next card coming up. I don't know why they would have her kind of promote it and not have her in it. And as we saw her in the Royal Rumble, she can definitely still go and wrestle with the newer girls now. So with this brewing rivalry that she's kind of having with Liv Morgan, I think this is going to lead to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending their women's tag team titles against the Bella Twins. Now, obviously, Brie Bella hasn't been anywhere near the WWE universe in a pretty long time. Obviously, Nikki Bella, I believe she just recently signed a Legends contract deal or something like that. I could be mistaken, but she showed up in the Hall of Fame. She was in the Royal Rumble, and yeah, so she obviously was on Monday Night Raw this past week. So I think there definitely is going to be some Bella Twins, twin magic happening, and we're going to finally see the Bella Twins back on our screens in 2025. And I think the perfect way to showcase them is have them go up against the women's tag team champions, Liv and Raquel. And I say, why not have two of the greatest women's tag teams go up against one another? You have Liv and Raquel, who are record breakers, and they are the only 4-time women's tag team champions, which is insane. And then you have the Bella Twins, who sadly in their run never got that opportunity to hold the tag team titles, since when they were wrestling there was no women's tag team titles. So I think it would be really cool to kind of see new school versus old school go up against one another. I think this is a perfect match to have on the Evolution card. Moving on, like I said earlier, the general manager of NXT, Ava, has confirmed that there will be an NXT women's title match. What better star to face Jacy Jayne than the newest signee to the NXT women's roster, Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May. I can't really see any other woman in NXT facing Jacy Jayne. And sure, you have Jordynne Grace, sure, you have Zarya, but I just think it would be really freaking cool to see this match on the card. I mean, listen, Blake Monroe is a star. I think this is a perfect way to have her kind of hold the NXT women's title and get it from Jacy Jayne. And all due respect to Jacy Jayne, she is the one that beat Stephanie Vaquer in a crazy, shocking victory. And I don't want to sit here and say she's a transitional champion by any means, but come on, guys. We all know when Mariah May aka Blake Monroe, signed her contract with WWE. She was going to be becoming NXT Women's Champion really, really soon. Next up, we have the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder Naomi versus Bianca Belair. With the Naomi and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair storyline, I will sit here and say it is probably the best women's storyline happening right now in the WWE. And even though Naomi, like I said, is the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder, she does have this brewing rivalry with Bianca Belair. Now listen, many may say, well, why not have her face Jade Cargill? And it's not because they already had that match at WrestleMania, but it's because this rivalry has now shifted from Naomi versus Jade, in my opinion, to Naomi versus Bianca. Naomi says that the reason why she even targeted Jade Cargill in the first place was for Bianca, and Bianca obviously is like, girl, you did not do that for me. You are crazy. Naomi has been kind of tagging Bianca in some crazy posts on Twitter. If you haven't, go check her Twitter out. And she's also, we kind of had that promo battle between them not too long ago on Friday Night SmackDown before Money in the Bank, where Naomi kind of said that she broke into Bianca Belair's house. Like, it was some crazy stuff, y'all. So I think it would be really cool to finally see Bianca's in-ring return after a couple of months. I believe she hasn't really wrestled since WrestleMania. I know right now she's currently injured. I think she like broke some fingers. It gives her at least a little bit less than a month to kind of recoup, and I doubt that WWE is not going to have Bianca Belair on the Evolution card. Like, are we serious? Bianca Belair is one of the biggest female superstars in the WWE. And again, Naomi is the briefcase holder and they have a rivalry. So I think this is perfect. Have them face one another here. No title, not for anything, just a good rivalry grudge match. So yeah. Another grudge match, but for a title, we have Lyra Valkyria versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch recently won the Intercontinental Championship off of Lyra Valkyria at Money in the Bank. And then the following Monday Night Raw, we saw Bayley return and take out Becky Lynch, because if you don't remember, Becky Lynch took out Bayley before WrestleMania. Bayley and Lyra were supposed to go into WrestleMania as a tag team to face Liv and Raquel, and Becky took her out and then replaced her at WrestleMania. Becky and Lyra held the women's tag team titles for a little bit less than 24 hours, and they lost them to Liv and Raquel. That led to Lyra versus Becky and what we have now. So with Bayley attacking Becky, Lyra and Becky still kind of being up in the air, there's definitely still some animosity between the two, and now Bayley kind of getting her look back on Becky. I think, why not? Let's just put all three of these women in a triple threat and have them face for the IC title. This is a perfect way to kind of squash all their rivalries, I think, and it's a really fun match to have. So yeah, and that way also the women's IC title is being defended. Moving on, going to another mid-card women's title, we have Julia versus Zelina Vega for the United States Women's Championship. Again, we've been kind of getting this teased a couple of times on Friday Night SmackDown, Zelina Vega being the United States Women's Champion, and then Julia letting Zelina Vega know on multiple occasions that she is coming for her title. Like I said, this is a perfect way to elevate the United States Championship, having it on a premium live event, and again, showcasing both of these women. Kind of going back to NXT, we have the Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruca, and this is really fun. I have her going up against her tag team partner, Zarya. Now, we've been getting teased a couple of times that Zarya isn't really happy for Sol. She obviously wanted to be the NXT North American Champion. I believe she lost her qualifying match to Kalani Jordan, and then that's how we got Kalani versus Sol at I believe it was Battleground. That was a really fun match. It was a great match, actually. So yeah, I think Zarya is going to end up turning on Sol, and that's how we lead to this match. I think it's kind of been brewing, and what better way to have them face off one another than at Evolution. Not much build going on there, but I just want to see it, so that's why I have it written down. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comments, but that's what I have. For the Women's World Championship, We have Io Sky, our champion, going up against Stephanie Valkyrie, Rhea Ripley, and Roxanne Perez. Now, listen, Roxanne's kind of the oddball here since she doesn't really have much build going to the Women's World Championship. I mean, listen, she just kind of qualified for the Queen of the Ring tournament, and maybe, you know, that gets her this opportunity, even though I believe it's already been announced that the King and Queen of the Ring winners will be facing their respective champions at SummerSlam. I still think, why not have her have some momentum? I don't know if she's really going to win the tournament anyway. So if she doesn't, this is a perfect way to kind of have her still build that momentum. She's very big in NXT. She's very big with the WWE Universe online. But I think the WWE Universe in person, the people in the arenas and the stadiums, they still need to kind of get used to Roxanne Perez a little bit. And I think this is a great way to showcase her talent, as well as she has kind of had some sort of like rivalry with Stephanie and Io and Rhea at this point. So she's a little odd man out in the way I say, like, there is no build to her being in this matchup, but I think it can be done. And I doubt they're not going to have Roxanne on the marquee. And obviously Rhea Ripley is a star. She doesn't really need much build. There's been a lot of teasing of her going after Io and saying to Io, I'm going after my championship. And she has a lot of respect for Io, and she's kind of told her straight up. Stephanie Valkyrie, same thing. We had that instant classic match between her and Io when she was NXT Women's Champion. It was just a fun, let's see who's better match. It wasn't for any title, but it was on Monday Night Raw, and the crowd erupted. I believe they got a "This is awesome" chant before the bell even rung, if I'm not mistaken. So why not put all four of these women together? They are arguably the biggest stars and the greatest women on the roster right now. So yeah, and I want to see more Io defending her title. I don't believe we got an Io title match since WrestleMania. So have her kind of go through these interlocking storylines that she has. And I am a sucker for a multi-person match, or a fatal four-way, should I say. This will be amazing. Now, this next match we haven't necessarily gotten much build towards them even wrestling one another. However, we have gotten teasing of a rivalry starting to brew, and that's with Alexa Bliss going up against Charlotte Flair. Now, this Friday night, we had Alexa, Charlotte, I don't remember who the other two women were. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. But we recently had Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Alba Fire, and I'm kind of blanking on who the other woman was in the Fatal 4-Way, fighting for the Queen of the Ring tournament. And Alexa Bliss won. The way she won too was that she, I believe, hit the sister Abigail and pinned, I believe it was Alba Fire, but Charlotte Flair had the other woman in the figure 8 leg lock, and since the other woman didn't tap out, Alexa got the 1-2-3 pin, and Charlotte was left like, damn, I almost had it. And we had a stare down between these two women, and we've had multiple stare downs between the two. Alexa trying to reason with Charlotte, telling her, listen, I'm a friend to you, we are kind of OGs in the locker room. And Charlotte like, listen girl, I have no friends in this, like, ain't no friends in this game, okay? So we've been getting multiple stare downs. I think it's leading to them kind of facing off one another. This will be really fun to watch. And I also have Nikki Cross possibly making an appearance. I know we haven't really seen Nikki and Alexa interact at all. They're both on SmackDown now, though. And Nikki and Alexa obviously are still very much incorporated in Bray Wyatt's, legacy. I think it would be pretty dumb to not have them ever interact. So I think this will be the perfect place to have them interact for the first time. Maybe Nikki helps Alexa get the win. Maybe Nikki's just in Alexa's corner. Who knows? But either way, I have Charlotte versus Alexa. I think that will be a really fun match. So yeah, we have Tiffany Stratton, the champion. I have her defending her title up against Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. This is why I didn't have Jade Cargill in the Bianca and Naomi match. Nia and Jade have this kind of brewing rivalry going. Jade Cargill recently just beat Nia Jax, Piper Niven, and Michin to qualify for the Queen of the Ring tournament. I know they have had multiple matches together I believe, multi-women matches, or they've had one-on-one matches on SmackDown. I'm not really too sure, but I know they've fought, like they've wrestled one another already. As well as we've had Jade Cargill tell Tiffany multiple times that she is going for her title. And Nia and Tiffany, we already know Tiffany won the championship off of Nia when she cashed in on her. So interlocking rivalries here. I don't have anybody winning any of these matches because this is so early for these predictions. You know, we haven't had any matches confirmed, so I think it'll be a little dumb on my part to have anybody winning. But these are just, like, again, my predictions for what matches could eventually happen. I think Nia versus Jade versus Tiffany will be a really fun match. And I even have written down a possible Naomi cash in here. Maybe this is how Naomi cashes in on Tiffany. Tiffany's left really vulnerable. She just went through Jade and Nia. And I think maybe this even protects Tiffany. Maybe Naomi cashes in on her before the match even finishes, making it a fatal 4-way, and Naomi maybe possibly pins Jade in this instance, kind of finishing their rivalry, or prolonging it. Jade's like, listen, you cut me out of my title opportunity, and you know, I'm sick and tired of this. Who knows? But I think there's a lot of fun things we can do here. Remember, SummerSlam is happening in August. This is happening before. So whatever happens here leads to SummerSlam. And we still need to keep some of these rivalries going. So I think this is a perfect way to have Naomi cash in. And yeah. Lastly, we have 2 multi-women matches. I have obviously a Mae Young Classic Battle Royal. This happened at the first ever Women's Evolution, so why not have it happen again? I don't necessarily know what women are going to be in it, but whoever aren't on my marquee here, I have, you know, women from the NXT women's locker room. We have women from the Evolve women's locker room, AAA women's locker room, and TNA women's locker room. There's so many women now in WWE, or just collabing with WWE. I think it would be really cool to see multiple women just show up. And either way, Battle Royal, showcase all the women that WWE is not only having on their rosters, but also collabing with. I think that will be a really fun match. And again, it'll be a nice little callback to the first ever Mae Young Classic. As well as I have a multi-women's tag match, a #1 contendership match. We have Maxine and Natalia. We've seen them kind of as a tag team before as well. I have the Secret Hervis, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven. Michin and B-Fab, they are also a women's tag team, as well as the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka, she's going to be making her return, I believe, next Monday, and Kairi Sane, who's been getting a lot of wins under her belt as well. So there's very little women in the women's tag team division, and that's sadly because of a lot of the cuts they've made. So yeah, I had to work with what I had, you know. Those were my predictions for some of the matches we can have at Evolution 2. Regardless if some of my predictions come true or not, that'll be awesome. But this video was fun to make anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to comment down below some of the women's matches you have predicted for Evolution 2. And if you disagree with any of my predictions, let me know who you think will be better to face Io, to face Tiffany. Let me know who you have if you disagree with me. Subscribe if you haven't already to this channel. I post wrestling content as well as just fun content in general. My podcast, the She Speaks Wrestling podcast. If you want to see the video versions, they're here on YouTube. And if you want to hear the audio versions, they're free on Spotify. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.